Welcome. My name is Derek Sang, and I'm the Technical Training Manager for Bulwark Protection. Today's FR clothing question is asking about the primary standards around short-duration thermal exposures from fire, or more commonly known as NFPA2112 and NFPA2113. So what do you need to know about these two standards? First, these are the gold standards for making and then implementing garments for protection against short-duration thermal exposures from fire. If you potentially have employees that may be exposed to the short-duration thermal hazards as defined in NFPA 2112 and NFPA 2113, then specifying garments that are designed, built, and tested to protect in those hazards would be prudent. Because what's the alternative? Allowing garments that don't meet the standards for the hazard? Allowing garments that haven't been tested to protect in the hazard? NFPA 2112 is the standard on flame-resistant garments for protection of industrial personnel against short-duration thermal exposures from fire. This standard outlines the various performance requirements and testing methods for both the FR fabric and ultimately the FR garments. This includes what we simply call the 3 F's necessary for independent third-party certification to be NFPA 2112 compliant. The 3 F's are simply the fabric, the findings, everything that goes into making that fabric a garment, and then lastly, the facilities. If you don't have all 3 F's, you get one big F, and that's failure to meet the requirements to be certified to be compliant to NFPA 2112. So NFPA 2112 is what? It's a means for us, the manufacturer, to certifying fabrics and findings suitable for use in FR clothing to be worn as protection against possible short duration thermal exposure from fire. Based on what we know today, it gives you, the wearer, the specifier, peace of mind that this garment meets or exceeds a battery of 17 different tests that cover flame resistance, seam strength, thread requirements, color fastness, shrinkage, labeling, body burn, and others. The fabrics at a minimum must retain their flame resistancy through multiple launderings. For this standard, it's 100 launderings. They must meet the standards for heat transference performance, thermal stability, and heat resistance, because those all factor into what ultimately will result in injury of the wearer. The big one is that a single layer fabric in a coverall configuration is tested in ASTM 1930, the mannequin test, and must have less than 50% predicted body burn in a very, very harsh test. It's a jet-fed fuel fire at 360 degrees for 3 seconds. And that single layer fabric must have less than 50% body burn before we can start doing all the other things to ultimately provide you a garment to protect you. Just remember a couple of things. This is a test method in a lab, not real world. Secondly, the results that you may be evaluating or interpreting are single layer fabrics. These are not commercial coveralls. They don't have large chest pockets, rear pockets, any other kind of pockets on sleeves, cargo pockets. All those additional layers of FR will ultimately reduce the amount of body burn that you are seeing on a single layer fabric test. So just remember that. What is 2113? NFPA 2113 is the standard on selection, care, use, and maintenance of flame-resistant garments for protection of industrial personnel against short-duration thermal exposure from fire. This is the sister document, partner document to once it's built, how do we use it in the field? Thus, NFPA 2113 provides detail on how to properly select garments, properly use the selected garments, properly care for and properly maintain the selected garments in the field. It is here in NFPA 2113 that you have your playbook. As a safety professional, this is what you want on your desk. It guides you to selecting garments that have been certified to be NFPA 2112 compliant. It details the proper wearing of shirts, pants, and coveralls. Shirts are buttoned up to the neck. Sleeves are rolled down and buttoned. Shirts are tucked into pants. Coveralls are zipped up and likely buttoned down to the wrist, etc. It details how to follow the manufacturer's guidelines for cleaning, carrying of, and maintaining, and that as employers, we are responsible for ultimately what? Training our folks on the proper use, care, and maintenance of their PPE. Any additional information or other FR-related questions, please feel free to click the link. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Derek out.